So, I'm gonna get, well, let's see. I still have 7 minutes. I logged on a little early, um, just so I could kind of set up. I want my YouTube lives to be a little bit different from my TikTok lives. I want it to be more laid back. Hey, WWE Slam 5, how are you? Hey everybody joining. So I created this cake live on my TikTok channel. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be making the matching cupcakes for the different characters. Well, I did this one last night. So today we'll be making the cow cupcake topper as well as the chick cupcake topper. And if I have time, I'll go back and do another one of the bows. I also did the bow last night. So I did make an extra topper for another bowl. So if I have time, I will also demo how to create this bowl. But today we're going to be making the cupcake topper for the chick and the cupcake topper of the cow to complete our set. Like I said, I made this one last night on TikTok Live. So I decided to come over here and do some stuff. Thank you. Is it, I don't know, I'm gonna just say B Buns. Is that cool? Wow, good job. Keep doing it. Never give up and hope you have a wonderful day. Keep going. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this is what we Hi Under His Wings Ministry. How are you? So this is what we're gonna be making real easy breezy, real laid back. Hang out if you can. If not, I completely understand. I am planning to save the live so that you all can watch it later. But I actually plan to go live at 10 o'clock. I did want to come on earlier just to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Yvette. Everybody calls me Gigi. I am a sugar and cake artist originally from New Orleans. Now I am located in Atlanta. I go live a lot on TikTok. I am planning to start going live over here as well. Everything is handmade. Whenever I use a tool or anything like that, I normally let people know what I'm using. I do sell molds, edible images. I have a website where I sell things. I'm in the greater Atlanta area. So if you're ever in need of anything, you can always hit me up. I ship. I make toppers for other cake artists and for just regular clients. A wide variety of things that I do. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just starting out on YouTube, so I'm still trying to build my channel. If you like my content, if you're interested in just being a part of a cool vibe, low stress type of live, then this is the place to be. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna get started in about 4 minutes. I'm trying to see if I could like also videotape on my meta glasses. Is it hard? It's hard. It's easy. Like I said, I'm gonna save the I'll save the video, the live, so that you can repeat it. I have a lot of other videos on there. I try to do stuff that I feel like people can do. So in my opinion, it's not hard. Everything takes a little bit of practice. You're not going to get it on the first try, but I do try to make stuff simple enough so that the average everyday crafter can do it. All of this is edible. It is an edible medium. This is fondant and gum paste, and it is that nice. Uh, Hopefully, I answered any questions. Thank y'all so much for being here. Again, I don't go live on YouTube much, but I plan to start going live a little bit more often. So, thank y'all for being a part of this morning. I'm a nurse by trade. Sorry, y'all. I'm a nurse by trade. I've been a nurse for 32 years. I recently retired. April 24th, I retired. So I am going to be doing my cakes and my sugar art full time. Any support that you all can provide would be greatly appreciated. I've already pre-made the two toppers that we're going to be using. If I have time at the end, I'll go back over it, how I made these. These are foam cupcake forms. They're foam, almost, like just a cushiony little foam. And I rolled out my fondant. These are 2.5-inch circles, and I let them dry on the foam so that they can kind of have that curved look. The reason why I did that is because when you're making a face, I feel like it should be a little round. So that's why I decided to use um, the rounded ones. And then to apply, these are fake cupcakes that I use for demo because I make so many toppers. But you would still pipe your buttercream on and then apply your topper onto your cupcake. So that's what we have. And we're going to get started. Again, I'm going to be making the cupcakes to match the little characters on the cake that I previously made. This cake is a 5-inch by 8-inch cake. We can kind of talk about pricing at a later time, or like if I still have time. I thought that was a rock. Where? What did you think was a rock? None of this is rocks. All of this is fondant. All of this is fondant. This is fondant as well. It's just hardened because I allowed it to sit out and dry, but all of this is fondant. Okay. So hopefully you all will enjoy what I'm gonna do. Hang out. So I'm gonna point the camera down to my workspace so that y'all can actually see what I'm doing. Um, and if you have any questions, hopefully I'll catch those. I might need to put y'all on let me see if I can also log in on my laptop so that I can also catch any questions that y'all may have. The black sponge, I don't see a black. No, this is actually purple. This is purple. It's just got a lot of uh cornstarch and stuff in it because I use it a lot. So no, this isn't. It's actually foam balls that you use to form cupcakes.
So yeah, it's just it's really spongy. But let me see if I can watch myself so that I can catch any questions y'all may have. All right, here we go. All right, we're there. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I am going to move my camera down so that y'all can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not too into the comments. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start out with making the cow. And as you can see, the cow has the black spots on it. I want to do those first prior to doing um any of the other decorations. So this is black gum paste, that nice black gum paste. The only reason why I'm using gum paste is because this is what I had. If I had black fondant, I would use that, but this is what I have. Yeah, it's a purple sponge. And I'm going to freehand cut some of the little black spots for the cow. I try to knead my fondant first um, to soften it up. Let me put something underneath so y'all can see the little piggy while I'm making the other stuff. Let me move that on the side. You don't want to have too much junk. So I don't feel like I need all of this. Let me take off my meta glasses.
I don't need those right now. All righty. So let me know if y'all have any questions in the chat. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me. This is a just a duster. You can fill this with either cornstarch or powdered sugar to dust your fondant to keep it from sticking to your tools, to your workspace. I use cornstarch just because I like to use cornstarch over powdered sugar, but you can also use powdered sugar when you're rolling out your fondant. Don't be so concerned about the white kind of sticky. You can just brush that off with a brush, and I'll show y'all that as well. How long? How long I usually do it? Would do what? I normally, if I go live, I work until I'm finished. Whatever I'm working on, I try to complete it. Um, if you're asking me how long I've been actually doing this, I've been a cake artist for 15 years last month. I'm a nurse by trade. I've been a nurse for 32 years. Um, I'm self-taught with this. I don't know how I know how to do it. I don't know. I just picked it up one day and just was doing it. Um, so I don't really know. Hopefully that answered your question. I don't know what you're asking specifically about. And see, I'm just free cutting the little spots that I'm gonna put on my cow. I'm gonna stay on until I'm done with the two. I was gonna do one today and one tomorrow, but I'm gonna probably do both of them today, and that's one of the spots. And I'm just kind of free cutting it with my blade. You can make your cow spots however you want them, and we don't need many, and we don't need them to be too big either. These are pretty small cow. Let's do a smaller one. Let me roll this a little bit thinner. Um, is it Johan? Are you a sugar artist or an artist, period, of any kind? Or you just kind of like to watch people do creative stuff? All right, we're going to do like one more little one. Because again, we don't need a lot. It's a very small space for our cow. So that should be enough. We'll come back to the black when we get ready to do the eyes, but let's do the, I'm just gonna let these sit for a second. I'm gonna get my eyes together before I put my spots. So again, this is satin ice. This is actually gum paste. The black and the white is gum paste. And if you just kind of knead it between your hands, the heat from your hands will soften up the fondant or the gum paste or whatever it is you're working with. We're just going to be making his eyes, his or her, whatever it is. All right, let's get our cutters. Let's see. I used last night. I think I used these. Did I use these? I did. So this is approximately 0.75 for this particular cutter that I'm using for the eyes. And we're going to make two for the eyes. And then I'm going to go in and do one more. And that's going to be the eyelids. So we can put this up. We need to go back to our black. Well, we're going to need a piece of this white. We're going to need a small piece of this white. I'll just put it under there. So let's get some black so we can do the black part of the eyes. Now, in order to make the black part, I think, I think I had to make my own. Yeah, I had to make my own because I didn't have a cutter. But let me double check. Sometimes I use regular piping tips to make what I need, just like a regular piping tip. I'm going to use this one and I'm going to have to enlarge it to make it fit my eye because I don't have a cutter. Yeah, I'm going to use this and we can put this up because we're done with that. So I'm going to have to make the black part. Hey, hi 1971 Tootie one. Thank you for joining. All right, so we're going to roll this out and I'm going to leave it a little thick because I have to press this out to be big enough for my eye. So let's see. That should be enough fondant. Well, this isn't fondant, this is gum paste. So let's see. Let me put a little cornstarch on my finger and I'm just going to press these out. I can put this up. I'm just going to press these out to get the size that I need for the eye. And all I did was I just made the fondant a little bit thicker so that I can press it. Now, when you press it, you definitely want to try and press um, in a way that you maintain the circle. Do the best you can. And then remember I said we're going to take one of these and we're going to cut it in half. That's going to serve as our eyelid. I am going to take a little bit extra off each one. And then these lids will go on top here, like that, and that, right? And then we're going to take the black part of the eye, cut a little bit off of each one because we want him to look like, it's a little sleepy weepy. We may need to cut a little bit more off, just a little bit more. We don't want it to be too big and abnormal looking. We're going to cut a little bit more off. Now we can go ahead and add this top lid to the eye. This is what I call fondant glue. It's just a wide, like a little ball of fondant that I melt in some warm water. It works really, really well. It's not runny like water, so you don't have to worry about messing up your piece and stuff. It's kind of thick, like, and again, I make it myself. But let me check. Let me see if these eyes are the right size before I pop them on there. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I think that's good. A little right there. And then we could add our eyes, the black part of our eyes. Just like that. Put them together. And let's make the little nose too, right quick. So that when we get ready to put our eyes on, we have everything in place and we can throw all of these little bits away. So thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I thought it was gonna be, oh girl, hey, hello kitty. Sorry, chick. Not you, my girl. It's Fatima. It's just so peaceful over here. All right, so this is gonna be his little nose. Well, his little nose. So we're gonna shape it a little bit different from what we did for the pig, since he is a cow or she is a cow. Gonna make it a little bit smaller, just a tad. Yeah, it'll get there. You know, it'll get there. I'm a firm believer that it's gonna get there. All right, then we're gonna add a little mouth. And I'm just digging right into my fondant and pulling out a little mouth. We're gonna add the little nostrils. I guess it's big enough. I don't want his nostrils to be too big. Since he's a little cow, we don't want him to look like a pig, you know? Let me turn that down a little bit. I feel like it's loud. You know, Christina, I feel like I'm gonna find my tribe. All right, so we've been putting like it kind of off to the side. So let's go over here on this side for the cow. We'll put his face kind of off on this side to match what we did on the cake. So his face will be right there. So let's do that. Get us a little glue, not a lot. You don't need a lot because it will fall off. And then we'll put the eyes on. Let's push his mouth a little bit over. See it, I follow in her friend. It's okay. I really believe in my heart that the people that are supposed to be wherever will be wherever. I'm gonna still do my thing, but I'm gonna be over here. I don't. I'm not concerned about if people come or not. It's gonna happen. I believe that. So now that's our cow face so far. That's our little cow. And all I did was I took my tool, my Dresden tool, and I inserted it in and just kind of pulled the fondant out a little bit. That's how I made the mouth. Very, very simple. All right, so let's do the little white part of his eyes because y'all know I like that. That's my favorite part. Let's clean up some of this black. I'm very OCD. I don't like working with junk. It's junky. I don't like that. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, girl, it's gonna be fun. People are at work, they're not, people are not used to me being live at this time. My people normally come later, but we gonna keep it. All right, so I want to roll this kind of thin because I don't want his eyes, the little white part, to be poking out like in some kind of weird way. And I am going to use another piping tip. This one, I don't even know what this. Oh wait, this is a number 5, and the other one was number 15. Both Wilton, number 5 and number 15. I use these for a lot. So, all right, and I'm just gonna make 2. And if you just rub your finger on the top, it normally just falls right out. I never really have an issue with getting the little things out. All right, so let's do his eyes. And I'm gonna take a little balling tool to pick up just enough glue to go where I need it to go. So his eyes are kind of going this opposite way. Oh wait, your eyes went, well, it's gonna have to go that way because I done already put it on. All right, now just put a little bit of glue, just enough to adhere my little white part. They have a little bit too much cornstarch on it. Come on now, friend. That's the one. And there is a back and a front. And if you try to make these, you'll see what I'm talking about. There is a back and a front. I like to use these stick pins to pick up the little pieces. So it works for me. All right, so we have his little white part on his eyes. Let's go ahead and make the lashes now, the little lash. Oh, you know what? Let's put this on before these dry out too bad. So let's see where we're gonna put these. We can put one here. Let's see, maybe. I don't want too many of these. And I don't want them to be too big either. So I'm definitely gonna use the smaller ones. Because we don't want them to be too ginormous. I'm gonna cut this one down a little bit because I feel like it's too big. So I'm gonna just cut it down. And I just make just these irregular little shapes. Let's see, this might be too big still. So let me, and sometimes I'll do this too. If I need something small, but just make sure if you use a cutter that you round off the ends. Don't leave it with those square ends like that. Kind of round them off a little bit. If you're not good at like just free sculpting. So let's see. I'm gonna put one right here. So let's put a little glue. And then we could put this one right there. Because he's got to have his cowbell too. All right, then we can dispose of this because it's too hard. There's nothing we can do with it. We'll get a little bit more black fondant so we can make the eyelashes. Let me let me get another brush because I feel like I got a lot of cornstarch on my black. And just a regular little fluffy brush will clean that right on off. All right. So let's get to doing the eyelashes. It does have a little cornstarch on that part too. Yeah, girl, Katina, it's gonna work out, girl. I believe it. I believe in you. You believe in me. And I just made it into like just rolling a piece of fondant in the palm of my hand. I make the ends a little bit skinnier than the middle. And then all I'm going to do is pinch it, not in the middle because I want one to be longer than the other. So kind of like, gauge that. And that's our little lash. We'll fix it up more when we actually get it on our cow, but that's it. And I just try to curl them a little bit. So again, I'm just going to take a little piece of fondant, roll it in the palm of my hand until I get the thickness and the length that I want. And then I'm going to pinch it so that one is shorter than the other. Don't freak out if it's not perfect. You can always try it again because I don't always get it on the first, second, or third try either. And then once you actually get it on the piece, you can also kind of do a little fixing up with it. So that's our eyelashes. I think I want this one for the top. And because I don't need all this extra fondant, I'm just going to cut it off. And then I'll put a little bit of glue where I want the lash to go. Well, this is too long, but that's okay. I'll cut them when I get it up there. I feel like the lashes are a little too long. Let me cut it a little shorter. That's a little too long. Now they do have glue on this, so you got to be careful. So my little one fell off, but I'll put them each up there individually. Little one fell off. I never freak out when stuff, if it don't go the way I want it to go. Don't freak out. Stay calm, reassess, and keep going. No need to freak out. So that's where we are so far with that lash. And then I'm going to go ahead. This one we got to turn on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut this one too and hope that I don't lose any like I did before. And if so, we'll just put them up there individually. No big deal. No biggie piggy, even though this is a cow. And then let's try to grab them. Okay, this one is definitely long. Let's take it down because it's a little long and cut them again. I'm going to put them up there individually. Let's cut that one like that. And then this one, because we don't want it to hang off of our cupcake topper. Let's get this first one up. Well, it's still hanging a little bit, but not as much. And we can get this second one up. I'm telling you, these stick pins come in handy. And then once I get them on there, then I can position everything like I need it. But yeah, don't freak out if it's not going exactly the way you want it to go. Stay calm. It's just fondant. And we could always just start again if we mess it up. This sprint is a little bit longer. So I'm just going to nip a piece of it off. Just trying to make sure everybody is snug as a bug in a rug and nobody's hovering. All right, we got the lashes on. Oh, a little bit more glue. Not that much though. The sprint is not stuck to the eye. I bet you stuck now, friend. All right, so there we go. Now, what we can do, what we weren't able to do with the cake is add horns. We might be able to do that. I don't know. I'm going to see. But let's go ahead and do the things that we know we need, which is the cowbell. Let's get a little yellow and make the cowbell. Sorry, y'all. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm getting a phone call. All right, so let's make a cowbell, and it's really easy. What I did was I'm going to start with just a round ball of fondant, just a round ball like that I formed in the palm of my hand. Then I'm going to turn it into almost like a teardrop, I guess you would say, like a little teardrop shape. Can y'all see that? It's like a little teardrop shape. And I'm going to take a balling tool, and insert it in the larger end of the what's about to be a cowbell and just open it up a little bit. So I opened it up a little bit. And you do want to kind of smash it down so it looks like that. We're going to put a little hole at the top because how is it stuck on him if there's no hole? So let's see. This should be big enough. Or that might be too big. Let's try one of our tips. We're gonna go back with that. What it was, a number 3? Was it a number 3? No, a number 5. Our number 5 Wilton. And we're just gonna make a little hole at the top of our bell. Right? Using our number 5. And the little piece will come out. If you just press your finger on top, it'll pop right out. And we're gonna put our bell right here on our cow. There should already be enough glue on here. So we're going to put the cowbell right on the cow. Leave enough room for us to put the little rope. So he has his little cowbell that we can open up or do whatever we want to do with it. Now let's make the little rope part because there's a little rope on there. So we're gonna need some brown fondant. This should definitely be enough because the rope is very small. Hi, thank y'all for joining. Wait. Hello Kitty just got here. Why did I think 1971 Tootie was Hello Kitty? You're not Hello Kitty. All right, so let's do, all we need is literally this much to do a little rope because it's very small. And so what I'm gonna do again, that same thing using the palm of my hand to make what I need for the little rope and just, roll it as long as you need to. And then I'm gonna bring them together and then I'm gonna just kind of twirl it at the same time, both ends. Now, if it gets like thin and creepy, we'll cut that off. And if you need more rope, just make more. That's enough. That should be enough right there for the bell. So I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna cut it in half. Cut that off because I like my ends to be blunt and not round. So we're gonna put one end inside the where's my napkin? Pocket. Now I want this to be a very small amount of glue or water, whatever you're gonna use. I'm probably gonna use the water. You don't need a lot. You absolutely do not need a lot of water. All right, so I'm gonna take the first part and push it inside of my bell. And I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So the first part is actually coming out of the inside of the bell. And then because I want it to look like it's actually tied in there, I'm going to take this next piece and go like it's underneath the bell. And we're just going to put it, oh, I need a little bit more water. I want to make it look like it's coming from behind the bell. Oh, did I mess up your mouth, friend? I did, huh? I'm sorry, friend. Let's fix it. All right, we got our ropes on. Let's put a little bit more water down here so that it sticks to something other than my finger. And I want that yellow piece of rope to, I mean, the yellow piece of uh bell in the middle to show. So we put our, I mess up his little mouth a little bit. So we put the bell on with the little rope. So that's our cow. I definitely want to try and give him some horns. We didn't do that with the cake because we didn't have anywhere to put it. That was me. I changed my profile so you don't get confused. Okay, well you just confused me. Just all over the place. All right, so let's try and give him some horns. Let's just see what it looks like. If it's ugly, we'll take it off. I don't like stuff to be all over, y'all. I have a neat issue. Okay, so let's add his little horns. And again, I'm going to start out with a ball in the middle of my hand. And then I'm going to kind of make it into that teardrop shape again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it flat on the fat end. Let me show you. So it looks like that. So let's see if it makes sense to add these. All right, let me make the other one because we want to have two so we can see. Yeah, you confused me, Hello Kitty, but that's all right, friend. And we want to cut this one. Make this one go inward too. I guess we could have made them white too. Just want to make sure you don't have to be twins, but they do have to be sisters. All right, they look like they sisters. All right, we can put this brown up and let's see what it's gonna look like. Because we didn't give the cow any kind of hair or anything. Like, the pig had the little curly cues and he's got this waddle thing. Is it a waddle? A comb. A comb. That's the waddle. It was a big old debate on TikTok when I made the cake. But let's see what he looks like with his horns. If we put one here. No, I think we're going to do without the horns. It almost makes him look like a devil. So we're going to leave him alone. I'm going to call it done on him. I do want his eyelashes to sit up though. We don't want any lazy eyelashes. So we're going to call it done on him. We're going to call it done. And then he would just sit on a cupcake just like that. We're going to go ahead and move on to do the chick. The chick will be our next one. That shouldn't take very long either. So that's our cow and our pig. Oh, we didn't give the cow a tail. That's what we didn't do. Let's give him a quick tail. He doesn't have a tail. How is that possible? Because he does have a tail on the cake right here. So we got to give him a tail. You say, sorry, friend. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. All right, so let's take him down for a second. We'll put him back once we're done with his tail. Now, we don't need anything big. You are going to have to add some black to the tail. Now, let's see where we want this tail to go. Let's see. All right. Now, we do have to add some, we do have to add some black to the tail. And I just use this tool to kind of do give the tail like a little tailish look. Let's add a little black. Now we're going to have to add the black pieces with our hand because it makes no sense to try to do it, try to cut it out because it's so small. And all I'm doing is just like pushing some fondant into my finger. And then we can start gluing that on. Let's put one down here first. Oh, net. It's either gnat season, termite season. It's always some kind of season. I asked my daughter this morning if the termites was getting. She said no. Are the termites getting you, Katina? Let's do another one, like over here. Every area got something. So nobody's immune. Okay, and then one more little bitty one, kind of like up here, like off to the side. You don't want to go too overboard with the spots on the cow, because then it start looking weird. So put enough so people know what it is, but don't do so much that it's overkill. Now, how to determine that, I don't know. You just got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut. All right, and so we're going to put him off on the side here. We're going to try not to mess up none of the stuff we've already done. Okay, let me put him on his phone. We don't need his tail to be too big, but we do need him to have one. Oh, did I mess up your eyelashes again, friend? That's okay. I'm finished messing with you. All right, he has a little tail. So let's put him on a cupcake. Just trying to blend his tail in. All right, so he's got a tail. Let's put them together. All right. Let's move on to the duck. The duck is a crowd favorite. I don't know why. I happen to think Piggy Poo, or whatever her name is. It should be a crowd favorite as well. And then the cow is really cute too. So I'll just put them like that so y'all can see what's going on. All right, let's now do the chick. So we're gonna need orange for the little beak. So let's do the little beak first. Let's see, where's my orange? Again, I'm using satin ice for everything. All right, orange satin ice for the little beak part. Dealing with termites. Oh, so horrible. All right, and then he's just gonna be a straight on face. Okay, he's just gonna be straight on. Okay, I always need my finding for a little bit. Of course, we don't need this much finding. His beak is not that big. It should be well, maybe a little bit more. All right. Again, I always start with a ball. Always start with a ball. So his is like a cone. So again, we're gonna make that cone and then press the back part kind of flat. And then I'm gonna start forming the little top part of his beak. And if this ends up being like way too big, we can always cut it down. So it's basically made. Let's just see if we satisfied with it. Yeah, I think this is a good size. And we still have to cut it open because he's got some stuff to say. Let me get my. Okay, here we go. And I'm just gonna cut it down the middle. This is a very sharp blade. And use my Dresden tool. Hold on. Use my Dresden tool to open it up, but I'm gonna put it on his on here first. And then we can add the two little nostril things. So we're gonna put it right here because we gotta leave enough room for two eyes and the comb. And then we also want to add the waddle. So we're already halfway down. Let's go ahead and make the eyes because y'all know I like to make sure the eyes are gonna do what they need to do. Still using the same size cutters we used before. This one I think is 0.75 inches. All right, so let's roll that out because we need to do the eyes. Oh, y'all, I got a little orange on my hand. That's not good. All right, so let's cut out the two eyes. And I like to kind of go around the rim of my pieces just to make sure there's no little pieces of fondant straggling around. We are going to use yellow for the eyelid for the duck. Pull out that same yellow we used for the cowbell. A little cornstarch. Roll it out. Of course, we only need one of these because we're going to use just one to make both eyelids. And put that yellow up. I'm going to cut this one in half and take a little off. Let's see. Take a little bit more off this one. You want to try and get them as even as you can, but you don't have to be real obsessive about it. I am going to go ahead and attach the eyelids. You can do that part. And for the chick, I did kind of push the eyelids up a little bit more because I wanted them to kind of stick off the white part. So I did push those up a little bit further than I did for the cow and the pig. So if you look at them, it's sticking off a little bit on either side. And I did that on purpose. All right, so we have those. Let's get the black because we know we need black. Let's get that done. Again, I want to say thank y'all for joining me. Wait, I need it a little bit thicker because remember, I have to press the black out to get it to be the size I need it to be. So let's make it a little bit thicker. And we are using that number. This is a number 12. We are using a number 12. I don't know what I said before, but this is a Wilton number 12. I think I said 15 or something. It's so hard to see them, but this is a Wilton number 12 piping tip that I'm using. And I am going to have to press these out a bit because they're not quite big enough. A little cornstarch on my hands. So it doesn't stick to me, which is what it likes really like to do. And I'm just pressing them out a little bit. I don't have a cutter that's the size that I need, so I'm making my own size. And if you mess it up and like maybe you pushed it out too far on one side or something, you can always um use the yucky side to cut off. All right, let's see. Okay. I don't have to cut off too much on them. And we have his like coming together in the middle, like he's a little goofy. And I'm just cutting off a little tip off the top. When I say little, I mean little. Just to take some of the roundness off and to have it look like it's underneath his lid. All right. I don't even know if I need to sometimes when your fondant is fresh, you don't even need to put anything to get it to stick. There's it's actually stuck on there. So let's do a little tester. So these are the eyes, right? And then this is his little beak. The beak is a little too tall on the top, so I'm just gonna press it down. All right. Let me reshape the beak a little bit. All right, great. We can start putting it on. Let's put the beak on first. And remember, I said I'm gonna pull it down a little bit because we gotta have some space for the comb at the top. But we do want to leave some space at the bottom for the waddle. And then we could put the eyes on. This is where we are right now. Let's smash this side a little bit. And then we got to put the little holes for the nostrils. Because if he can't breathe, how is he going to fly, right? All right, let's do the little part at the bottom first. So we need some red fondant. I have red right here. Let's do the waddle first. And then we'll do the comb and we'll save the lashes for last just because I don't want to keep picking it up and then messing the lashes up. They're so delicate, so we'll save those for last. Um, yeah, let's do the little waddle waddle. Okay, that's good. And again, I'm making a ball in the palm of my hand. And then I'm just making one end thinner than the other, just like that. And I do want one of them longer than the other one. And that's it. Let me see how much time I got left on this. All right, so let's go ahead and put those on. And we could play with position when we actually get it up here. So that's where we are so far with this. Oh, let's do the white part. Let's do his little white parts before I start digging too deep with that red. Let's clean up a little bit. All right, we just need the absolute smallest amount of white. And again, we're gonna use our piping tip. And this is the one we want to have really, really thin. All right, so we're using our piping tip again, that Wilton number 5. Wait, let me see something. All right, so we use Wilton number, wait, okay, wait, this what it is. This is a 12, right? This is a 5. So this is a Wilton 5. This is a Wilton 12. This one is probably a PME. Oh no, this is a 5 too. So 5, 5, and a 12. Those are the main ones I use. And I also use the I think this is a 14. I mean, I'm sorry, not a 14, a 1A. So the 1A I like to use because of the size of that hole. Um, I like to use the 12 and the 5s. So these are the ones I use all the time. I use those a lot. I don't even pipe with them. I actually use them more for my fondant pieces than anything else. So once you once you press into the fondant, you see how it's still stuck in there. If you just press your hand on top and kind of roll it a little bit, it falls right out. So don't freak out if you feel like, oh my goodness, that little bitty piece of thing is going to be the devil to get out. It's really not. So we're going to use our balling tool just to put like the smallest amount of glue, because that black, if you put too much of anything on that black, you're going to regret it. So let's get a stick pin, flip these over. I used to have this grabber thing that had like a sticky on it. I used it all. I'm gonna see if I still have it. Oh yeah, I still have. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. But it's like I need to refill it or get a new one or something. It's this right here, and it comes with this sticky. It's like a sticky thing right here that you could pick up little pieces with too. Actually, it's normally used for paper, and it's a part of the recollections thing. And you just, in order to get the little sticky to come out, you just twist it and it comes out of the top. But I don't know, I think I need a new one. But this is what I use to pick up some of my smaller fondant pieces as well. So here we are, the little white parts are in. So let's do the comb. I don't let's see how we're gonna do the comb, because this one was pretty easy to do because it sits up on top of his head. Let's see how we're gonna make that same look on this. So let's get a little red. And I don't know how it's gonna happen. Let's just see. You don't need this much. You only need a little. And then we'll save his eyelashes for last. Again, kneading your fondant, always rolling it into a ball. And then I'm gonna like press it out into the shape that I need it to be, kind of like that, where it's thinner at the front and the back. We're not gonna need this much, so let me press it a little bit because it's a little thick. We definitely need a flat side, right? Because we need it to sit flat on a little head. We're not gonna need all of this, so let's just cut it down a little bit. And then I'll round it off again. Let's see what this looks like. And we can get rid of this back part because we're not going to need all of that. So that should be enough. What I'm going to do is, unlike that one, because this one is so small, I'm just going to go in and try and make my little waddle parts without having to cut it. And I'm just going to form them with my hand. If I need to go a little bit deeper in, you literally could make anything as long as you have the right tools. So this one is just going to be 3 little waddles. I mean, not waddles, comb thingies. So this is what I did. Let me put it in my hand. That's what I did. The shorter side will be the front. And then he'll just have 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put it right on his little head. And then I will, let's make this one a little bit shorter. We don't want it to run into his eyes. All right, let's see. I like it. So let's put it on. All right. And we can make them go in opposite directions. We got to make him look cute too. He's the star of the show, or at least that's what he thinks. I'm certain Cow and Pig also think they're the star of the show. We want to give the comb a little movement, not much. All right, let's give him his little lashes. That's what he's looking at like right now. Let's do the lashes next. All right, let's get some black. Do these lashes. Y'all still with me, huh? And we're gonna do it the same way we did everybody else's. And then we're gonna attempt to make one end shorter than the other one. This is probably too short. Let's make the other side. Still using the palm of my hand to do that. I'm gonna do it a different way this time. Wait, let me make this a little bit smaller. Right, let's try it this way. Let's cut it here and then make this one a little bit long. Well, that's a lot bit longer. And then I'm gonna attach them separately. Let's do it like that. So let's put our little glue. We can put this first one up first. And then put this one up next. What did I do with my stick pin? But sometimes these pieces are just too, let me cut it a little bit shorter. Just too small for my hands to manage. So I just find that the little stick pin idea works great for me. Like I said, I used to use that little tool. All right, we got one set of lashes on. One set of lashes on. Let's do the other side. I could probably use the same piece, but just watch it. This is gum paste. So gum paste gets dry real fast. Let me do this one a little bit more. Okay. So this will be our long one. And this will be our short one. I'm gonna go in there with some glue. I'm gonna use my let me cut this one a little bit. Let's get them up there. And then like always, we can do what we need to do once we get it placed. Oh, they got a little red fondant. Get off of there, you. We can shape them once they're up there. Let's get this last one up. I have red on my thing. Get our next little lash up there. All right. Just taking my time trying to get them the way I want them to look. So there we have it. The lashes are on, the wattle, the comb, the beak. We all set. Let me grab another faux cupcake so that we can put it all together and see what it looks like. If you want, we can definitely blush out the chip if y'all think it's a good idea. Let me steal one of these cupcakes from over here. Let's see, give me this one, Brian. Let's get our chick on top of a faux cupcake. So there you have it. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. Let's see how long have I been on. An hour and 20 minutes, I think. All right, so let's see what our barnyard themed cake looks like. Let me move some of these tools out of the way so we can have a clear view of what we have. Uh-oh, pulling away from you now. So we got our pig, our cow. Let's bring everything closer. Our pig, our cow. Well, I guess it kind of goes like this, doesn't it? And we have our bowl. A pig, a cow, and a bowl. Let me see. Let's get y'all a better look. A pig, a cow, and a bull. And that's our whole barnyard theme. I could remake the bowl because I do have an extra. Well, I don't have an extra top now because I just broke it. Because it's not dry. It didn't dry enough overnight, so I broke it. Which I still could make it, and you wouldn't really see it on the back. But I did make the bow last night, or rather on another live, which I will have it available on here as well. So we have the bow that matches the bow on the cake, and it's not even connected. I just kind of sat it on there. I should connect it though. And then we made the chick that matches the chick at the top. Can y'all see that? Matches the little chick at the top. And there we go. And we did the pig. It matches the little pig. Thank you. Hello, kitty. And we made the cow that matches the cow. They have magnets on the bottom of these. I don't know why. I guess maybe you could stick it on your refrigerator or something. But that's our barnyard setup. Like I said last night. Oh, did my music go off? Oh, I stopped it. Like I said in a previous live, let me say that. This is a 5-inch cake by it's 5 inches around and it's 8 inches top to bottom. If I had to make this cake in real life, because this is a dummy, but if I was making the actual cake, this would be 3 cakes in this one cake. So this would be two layers of cake with buttercream in the middle, and then there would be a cake board, and then the pig would be 2 layers of cake with buttercream in the middle, and then another cake board, and then the cow would be 2 cake layers, a layer of buttercream, and there would be a cake board on that would then be attached to the cake drum. You can easily get 10 to 15 1-inch slices out of these cakes if you know how to cut it. Of course, you don't cut it into wedges. You will cut them into 1-inch rectangles so that you can get, the service you need. So you're looking at, you know, 30 to almost 50, well, 30 to 45 servings out of this one cake. So you can definitely sell this as like a petite occasion where somebody's having a smaller party. That's what this will be great for. Let me see, 83 minutes. Oh, I've been on for 83 minutes in a couple of seconds. So that's how I would market this. You could also add sweets like chocolate covered Oreos, pretzels. If I did pretzels, I would probably do the pretzels in the cow print just because that would come out so cute. Maybe the Oreos of the pig, and say the Rice Krispie treats could be the chick, and the bow could be an accent on maybe cake sickles or something like that, and then you have a whole setup for this particular theme party. So since I broke this, I'm not gonna make another bowl right now, but I will have all of those videos available on here. I'm going to have them go ahead and edit everything out and have the video for the complete cake start to finish, along with the bowl and the pig that we previously made on another social site. I will have that over here for you all to take a look at it. Does anybody have any questions? If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you're over here, go take a look at some of my other videos. Again, I'm new to this thing. I'm new. I'm just starting out on YouTube. I like to grow my YouTube channel. Um, so yeah, that's it for today. At least on this platform. Now about loud. Well, thank you. All right. I got my hat on today, y'all. Anybody have any questions before I go? Let's push it all over here. I think this is so cute. When I tell y'all, if you do sweets with this, this is so cute. It is absolutely adorable. And I would do like the four main character cupcakes, and then I would add just your buttercream piping, your very pretty buttercream piping with maybe sprinkles on some. You can do the edible images on some. I just printed out a couple of like barn theme edible images that you can add on to some of your other cupcakes. Last night I also did a cow print bow that you can also use as a cupcake topper if you didn't want to do all of the characters. You could offer just four of these, and then do just regular buttercream for the rest of your toppers if that's something you wanted to do. You love my apron? Oh girl, it's a cute little apron. Let me show you. I'm gonna edit this out. It's got pockets. You can put your pins up here. It's got two little pockets up here. I actually sell this apron. You got a little kitty. Two pockets in here. It's actually got like the leather, like the faux leather here. And it's also the faux leather in the back. It's completely adjustable. I wear the daylights out of this. Now, I don't wear this one when I go to deliver. I have another half apron that I wear when I go to deliver. But this apron without this on it, it doesn't say my your logo isn't on it. It's available on my website, but it doesn't say Fleur De Treats and Sweets, because what sense would that make? That's the name of my company. So yeah, this is what we've completed, and again, I'm going to try and have all of the videos edited and up on YouTube so that y'all can watch it at another time. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful day. I don't know when I'll be back live again. Just stay tuned. Please subscribe to all of my socials. Follow me on IG, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, all of the socials. You never know where I might pop up. Okie dokie. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Peace.